Congress moves to stop police brutality. I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Today on Upfront. Should there be a national registry of bad cops?
Someone who has been fired from a police force gets another job and continues the same behavior.
This bill would penalize the good cops in a big way. It would be a disaster.
Next, how congressional Democrats and Republicans are prepared to answer a national call for change. Then, will large protests further spread coronavirus? Milwaukee Health Commissioner Dr. Jeanette Kowalik on the latest public health worry. And Capitol controversy, someone in the governor's office secretly recorded a phone call.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
George called for help and he was ignored. Please listen to the call I'm making to you now.
George Floyd's brother making an emotional plea to members of Congress to pass a major reform package and control police use of excessive force. Thank you for joining us. Congressional Democrats say it's time for police culture in many departments to change. They call their legislative response bolder than anything they've done on this issue before. Their Justice in Policing Act would create a national database of excessive force episodes, end the use of chokeholds, and set new standards for training and overhaul legal protections for police. The Congressional Black Caucus is pushing the legislation, and we're talking now with Milwaukee Democratic Congresswoman Gwen Moore. We really appreciate you being here with us. So the first question is this National Registry of Bad Cops. Go ahead and kind of tell us what that would look like, or what you would hope it would look like.
Well, one of the preponderance of problems that they have found in policing is that bad cops just simply move to another jurisdiction and finds himself someone who has been fired from a police force, gets another job, and continues the same behavior. This is a systemic problem, and this is a lack of accountability that this bill tries to address. This bill also talks about a provision that I am very proud of, that I placed in the bill, and that's de-escalation training. I think the president probably is on the same page with me. We know that police are trained to shoot, 59 hours of that, another 48 hours on tactical principles, and yet only 8 hours of voluntary, often, training in de-escalation. Certainly here in the case of Dontre Hamilton, for example, how did we see a young man who was asleep on a public park bench end up in a situation where he lost his life at the hands of a police officer? There's an example where I think de-escalation training and indeed recruiting good cops in the first place would have gone a long way.
There's a call out there to defund the police. What exactly does that mean to you?
Well, I've heard people make arguments about it across the spectrum. Everything from absolutely have no money for the police, which I guess I have not heard the cogent argument for not having some public safety apparatus in place. So certainly, I hope no one is talking about not having a public safety apparatus in place. But I think people are pointing to the fact that while we find homelessness abound, while we find 20% pre-COVID now, 20% of African-American children live in poverty. You talk about 20% of anybody living in poverty. You're talking about Depression era conditions. You're talking about the lack of funds in our school system, the lack of funds for juvenile intervention initiatives. You talk about lead in our pipes, the inability to provide good food and clean water, but yet we find police budgets burgeoning. And I think that that's the criticism that citizens are trying to raise, is that while we provide unlimited resources to police officers, they have military-style equipment on city streets. While we provide all of these resources to police departments, we are starving other elements of our society that could, in fact, mitigate the need for heavy policing.
Congresswoman Gwen Moore, thank you for your time today.
And thank you for having me. Always great to be with you.
Some of these reforms may be winning over Republicans. Veteran Wisconsin Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner said it's time for agencies to get rid of bad cops, and he endorsed the idea of a police misconduct registry. Is there an opportunity for bipartisan agreement here? We're talking now about that with Wisconsin Republican Congressman Glenn Grothman. Congressman, I appreciate your time. Do you think that's a good idea to make this national registry of bad cops?
That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think we largely do that in Wisconsin right now. It's a bad bill overall. I mean, the highlight of the bill is getting rid of something called qualified immunity, which will mean police officers can be sued at any time for whatever they do. When I talk to the chiefs of police, when I talk to the sheriffs in my district, or the average guy on the beat, they wonder who's even going to be a cop if this sort of bill was passed. Hopefully we can do something on a bipartisan basis. Traditionally, the Democrats have always stuck with the unions. Vice President Biden in the past has been a leader in making sure that we don't penalize bad cops. I've been out there on the issue, but I don't want to do anything to penalize the good cops. And this bill would penalize the good cops in a big way. It would be a disaster. It would create a timid police force insofar as people are willing to be police at all. And a timid police force would mean the already skyrocketing homicide rates in Milwaukee would go up even further. That's what would happen under this bill.
But when you say if you're a good police officer, if you have good intentions, then you should have nothing to worry about, even if there are harsher punishments?
Absolutely not. Just like any other situation. If you sue somebody, how would you like to be sued? Even if you're innocent. You've got to go out and hire a lawyer. You have to worry that the criminal justice system isn't going to work out right. I don't think you want to be a cop, and every time you're arrested, somebody might sue you. That's kind of a dangerous position to be in.
Do you think there's a problem, or do you think something needs to be done when it comes to police brutality in this country?
Oh, I think, things like what happened in Minnesota. The problem is right now, it's very difficult to get rid of a bad cop. And this guy in Minnesota had done bad things before. But you got to remember, Congress usually overreacts. And this bill that's up next week would penalize the average cop.
But if you don't like what the Democrats are doing, what can you tell us about what the Republicans are drafting?
Well, I can tell you the bill that I had when I was in the state legislature would have made it easier to let someone go. It would have removed things like where people were getting paid during the whole time. These things were being dragged out for over a year. But if this bill would pass, it would result in much more timid police forces around the country. I think it would be an increase in the drug trade. It would certainly result in more crime around the country. It's an extreme bill. I know there are some Republicans who will vote for it because now is the time for beating up on cops, and some Republicans don't want to go back and explain to their constituents what the details are in the bill. But I don't think you can find any cop, and every cop I talk to wants that guy to go to jail, something to happen to him, or prison. Something happened to that guy who put his knee on that guy's neck in Minneapolis. Nobody defends that, but nobody in law enforcement that I can find thinks this is the answer. This is penalizing every cop for a bad cop in Minnesota.
So, Congressman, at the end of the day, do you think there's some kind of bipartisan agreement, something that will change, where Republicans and Democrats can come together on this?
I would hope it happens. Sometimes in an election year, people don't want agreement. They'd rather have the Republicans vote against a bill with a nice sounding name and run against him in the upcoming election rather than have a genuine compromise.
All right, Congressman, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Glad to be on this show, as always.
Walk with us! Walk with us!
Almost 3 weeks of protests raise concerns about the further spread of coronavirus. I'll ask Milwaukee's health commissioner how big a worry that is coming up. And later, Republican legislative leaders outraged that the governor's office taped a phone call.